Christians trying to find the right way to walk.
The Lord is my light, my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. And whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemy, I think them trust I put all in thee. Believe you got the world in your hand. You bless me, Lord, I know I can stand.
Show me the way, Lord.
I will be faithful, for I am desolate and afflicted. Lord, show me the way.
Okay, if no one else, I want to say to the people that are watching us live on the internet, good afternoon. And as always, it is good to stand before you on the Lord's Sabbath day. You know, sisters and brothers, this is a lesson that the whole world need, because there's a condition that's going to come upon this world. It's called the Great Tribulation. And if you don't understand this, you're going to have a religious organization telling you, come to us and you're going to be protected. All you need to do is receive this mark in your forehead or in your right hand. Everything is going to be all right. Because it's going to be some tough times, sisters and brothers. In fact, it's going to be a time like there's never been since there was a world. But if you are a servant of God, you can miss this. And you're not going to be taken off this earth. But you can miss it. In fact, the title of this lesson is The Wilderness, a place of safety during the Great Tribulation. The wilderness, a place of safety during the Great Tribulation. Now, sisters and brothers, this is going to be carried out by Satan and his minions, but this condition is being brought up on the world by God. The reason is because this man is so entrenched in paganism, so entrenched in evil, the Lord have two choices: to slap him back into reality or do like he did the first time, drown everybody. So he said he wasn't going to do that. So this Great Tribulation is going to be brought up on this earth by the so-called holiest man on the planet. So when you turn to your God, the one that's representing your God is whipping your head, then that's going to give you some food for thought. It's going to be a terrible time. And the Lord give us signs and let us know where to look and when to look. So we're going to start this in Matthew, the 24th chapter, because Jesus is the one that's telling us about this, sisters and brothers, because he wants us to know. That's why the Lord said, call the end from the beginning. He can tell you everything that's going to happen on this earth, and which he do. He tell us through his prophecy. Then he tell us how to escape it. So the thing that's going to get you out of trouble is knowledge and righteousness. You have to know about it. Then you have to be righteous enough for the Lord to allow you to take advantage of this great escape, because it's going to be a time, sisters and brothers, that you ain't going to be safe nowhere. Having a lot of money means nothing. Because it's going to be a time when if you don't have this mark, which is called the mark of the beast, in your forehead or in your right hand, you say, well, ain't nobody going to mark me. Yeah, they do it to you every Ash Wednesday, preparing you for what is to come. And if you don't have this mark, you could have $100 in your pocket, and you won't be able to buy a hot dog. The world don't have a clue of what's coming. We're going to start this in Matthew 24 and verse 1. This is a conversation between Jesus and his apostles. 24 and 1. Okay, go ahead.
And Jesus went out and departed from the temple. And his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things?
Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, there should not be left here one stone upon another that should not be thrown down.
Now they was telling him about the beauty of the temple, and he letting them know that this thing's going to be tore down. Not going to be one stone left upon another. Then they wanted to know some other things. Go ahead and read.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying,
Go ahead.
tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Now, they ask him more than just when the temple's going to be tore down. They want to know when it's going to be tore down, which that happened in 7 A.D. Then he said, a sign of your coming and the end of the world. Because when the Lord comes, the world is going to end the way you know it. But it's not going to end like all over with. Because the Lord is going to come and he's going to put his stamp on this world. Hear people talking about the New World Order. This is the only New World Order that's coming. And it's going to be brought forth by the Lord. So when they asked the question, the Lord answered them. Go ahead and read.
And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
First thing he said, take heed that no man deceive you. This is a warning that the whole world have ignored. What is it? Go ahead and read.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
For many shall come in my name, saying that I am Christ. Go ahead and read.
And shall deceive many.
And shall deceive many. Look, sisters and brothers, this is something that if people have really paid some attention to what Jesus said here in this warning that he gave us, you would look at a whole lot of ministers with the eye of suspect. Then you would write down what they say, and then you would get to open this Bible and see if it really says that. He didn't warn you about the street hustler or the pimp. He warned you about the people in the pulpit. Because you ain't never seen nobody walk up to you and say, I'm sticking you up in the name of Jesus. This is a warning that nobody pays attention to, sisters and brothers. Nobody. And when you warn people about it, oh, see, that's why I don't like it old church. See, he like to talk about preachers. No, I talk the book. If it fall on a preacher, it fall on a preacher. Right. So he said, many going to come in my name, saying that I'm Christ, and shall deceive many. Skip down to verse 14 and go ahead.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
He said, the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness against all nations. Pay attention to this. Go ahead.
And then shall the end come.
Then shall the end come. Why is the end not here if the gospel that we have been getting in the name of Jesus is the gospel? Look at all of these years. Look at all of these years. I mean, the whole world have the same gospel.
Yes, sir.
Why is it then that the end have not come? Because that is not the gospel that Jesus is talking about.
Yes, sir.
The evidence stands for itself. Go ahead and read.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
Now, most people have been in church all their life. They don't have a clue of who the abomination of desolation is, let alone the holy place. Right. But Jesus gave you that as a major warning. So whoso readeth, let him understand. In other words, you better understand this.
Right. Because
if you don't, the consequences are going to be severe. Go ahead.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Now let them be in Judea flee into the mountain. And it tell you a whole lot of other places that you need to flee from.
Right.
So this is a time you got to flee, sisters and brothers. Even wherever you are on this planet, if you got some knowledge, you're going to flee to this place that's called the wilderness. No matter where you are, the Lord is going to provide. Just like when he brought Israel out of Egypt. They didn't have a clue. Or who could have possibly told them that the Lord was going to divide a sea? Just make them an opening in it, and they could walk across dry shod. In other words, they walk across instead of mud, they're kicking up dust. Who could possibly have told you that God was going to do that?
Right.
But he did it. And that let me know I don't have to worry about a passport. I don't have to worry about airline or boat ticket money. All I got to do is know the sign and be right enough for the Lord to let me escape.
Yes, sir.
So he said, this thing here, when you see him standing in the holy place, you has best flee, because some big drama is going to come on. What verse was that?
That was in 16.
Skip down to verse 21 and go ahead.
But
Why is it that you need to flee? Go ahead.
But then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Now these great tribulations, these are that time. So you have never had a time this bad. And you will never have another time this bad. That means that's bad time. Yeah. Y'all know some ugly stuff going on this earth, don't you? All kind of slaughter, ethnic cleansing. I mean, whole nations almost wiped out. Whole people almost wiped out. I mean, killed by the thousands. This time it's going to be worse than that. In fact, it's so bad until the Lord said, ain't going to be no other time like this here. He said, when you see that, you better run. Because I'm going to tell you something. The Lord is going to have to do something, because this man is getting ready to kill everybody.
Yep.
Go ahead and read.
And except those days should be shortened.
And except those days should be shortened.
There should no flesh be saved.
There should no flesh be saved.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
But for the elect's sake, who are the elect? Those of us that have this truth, sister and brother. Israel and all the ones that become spiritual Israel. For our sake, he is not going to let this man destroy all flesh. When this was written, sisters and brothers, there was not a weapon big enough to destroy all flesh. Now everybody got it. America got it. Russia got it. North Korea got it. Israel got it. India got it. In fact, I can name, and all of them are so bad until they would destroy all flesh. This is a nuclear weapon, sister and brother. But the Lord said, for the elect's sake, I am going to make this thing short. He ain't going to let this man destroy his creation. But he said, but when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation stand in the holy place, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, whoso readeth, let him understand. But a lot of people wouldn't go to this because they said, we New Testament Christians. The Old Testament's been done away with. But those of us that read all the Bible, we know when Jesus said, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, he's telling us, you better go and read what Daniel said.
Yes, sir.
Because Daniel didn't write the stuff for nothing. So we're going to go into the 7th chapter of Daniel and look at it. Because these things, sisters and brothers, the Lord put here for our consumption. And he put it here so we will be able to get enough knowledge and understanding to work out our own salvation. Because we have to do this. Ain't nobody else going to do it for us. You have a lot of ministers. Tell me, you know, you listen to me. I'm going to tell you what you listen to. You listen to what this brother read.
Yes, sir.
That's why we have a reader. Because if you don't listen to what's written, you got your problem. Daniel 9 and 7. This is talking about the nation. 9 and 1, 7 rather than 1. Daniel 7 and verse 1. Okay, go ahead.
In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters.
Go ahead.
Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heaven strolled upon the great sea. And the 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
He said, now look, this dream I had, I saw Four winds of heaven. That's why I got the title of the book that the Lord calls me to write. They're strode up on the sea. That means they come up from among, they was over the people, and they come up from the sea, and they was all different. These four winds was four great beasts. Who was these? They represented the Gentile kingdom, sisters and brothers, that rule this entire world by themselves. The first one was Babylon. The second one was Medo-Persia. The third one was the Greeks. And the fourth one was the Roman Empire. Those are the only empires that rule this entire planet by themselves. That's on record anyway that man can read about. But we want to deal with the fourth one, because that's the one that this abomination of desolation is going to come out of. This person that the Lord hates, that's going to destroy at will.
Yes, sir.
Skip down to verse 7 and go ahead.
After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
Go ahead.
And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
Now this is the Roman Empire, sisters and brothers. This is the fourth one. The Roman Empire came, and the Roman Empire is supposed to rise and fall 10 times. It has risen and fallen 9 times. We have a lesson to show you that. Or either if you don't want the lesson, you could buy the book, The Four Winds of Heaven, that breaks that down. We are looking for the 10th horn right now. The 10th resurrection of the Roman Empire. See, God give you things among men because his business is man. And this was a terrible beast. He didn't even know what to name this beast. He named them all after some beast in his creation, but he couldn't even name this beast. Go ahead and read.
8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. Of whom there were 3 of the first horn plucked up by the root.
Go ahead.
And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things.
Now this is the religious horn. The rest of them was king, but this is religious horn. This is one that's sitting over there. He might not be the one that's sitting in Vatican City right now, but that seat over there in Vatican City is the seat that he is going to come out of. He had eyes like a man. He had mouth that spoke great things.
Yes, sir.
And we have a lesson to show you that he uprooted 3 other horns because they wouldn't go along with it. So this horn we're going to look at. Skip down to verse 19. Verse 19. And go ahead.
Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast.
I want to know about this fourth beast. Go ahead and read the Roman Empire. Go ahead.
Which was diverse from all the others. Exceeding dreadful.
Go ahead.
Whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet.
So this was a bad one, sisters and brothers. Not only did the Roman Empire knock the world off physically, but out of the Roman Empire came this modern day Christianity, sisters and brothers. Going to heaven come from Rome. Dead people looking down on you smiling come from Rome. Satan in the ground and a whole barbecuing people in hell come from Rome. In fact, tomorrow, Sunday, come from Rome. In fact, it was the Roman emperor that forced the whole world to observe it. It was a terrible beast. Not only did they destroy you physically, they destroyed you mentally and gave you a religion that has been to you down through every generation from the time that it came into existence. Sister and brother, that's why it was such a terrible beast. Skip down to verse 23. Verse 23 and go ahead.
Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth.
History will tell you that's wrong. Go ahead and read.
Which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces.
That's what they did. Go ahead.
And the 10 horns out of his kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them. And he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings.
Now this little king gonna come up, and these 3 nations that he subdued was the Ostrogoth, the Vandals, and the Hurrites. But then that's another lesson. because they would not let this guy rule over. So he got the rest of the forces together, and they was terminated. You don't see no country that's called Ostrogoths, do you? You don't see. But you know, you got the art all around. They call it Gothic art. And you don't see the Vandals. But you got a word that they're assigned to. They're just some barbaric people. They vandalize everything. That's where the word Vandal come from. And the Hurlai, I don't know what they left. All I know is they ain't here no more. Go ahead and read. What verse?
25.
Uh-huh.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Yes, sir.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Uh-huh.
And think to change times and laws.
Go ahead.
And they shall be given into his hand into a time, and times, and the dividing of time.
That's 3.5 years. We already been on us down through the nation. But there's a time, this great tribulation is going to be 3.5 years, sisters and brothers. Now, he's already changing the times and the laws. God's days start at sundown. The evening and the morning is the first day. But he said 12:01 is the first day.
Right.
God said the seventh day is his Sabbath. But then he said the first day of the week is the Christian Sabbath.
Right.
God said he's going to put his kingdom on this earth. He said, the kingdom is going to be in heaven.
Right.
And I can go on and on and on. He didn't change the times and the law. But there's going to come a time when he's going to be on this earth, and he is going to make war with the saints, and he's going to do it for a time, which is 1 year, times where the plural represent 3 years, and a half is a half a year, sisters and brothers, 3.5 years. Go ahead and read.
That was in at 25.
Now let's go further then. Let's go into Revelation 11th chapter, and we're going to look at this to show you. This guy going to be over this world, and he's going to make war with the saints, and he's going to win. That's why I said, if you are a saint, the only safe place for you on this planet will be in the wilderness. Some preachers tell me, well, the Lord going to rapture us off, the church off just before the great tribulation. I'm going to tell you something. You believe that. And you're going to find yourself going eyeball to eyeball.
Right.
With this great trauma. It's going to happen, sisters and brothers. Revelation 11th chapter. Now, this 11th chapter is talking about the Lord's temple, not the one that's going, this abomination going to set in. But it's something else we want to show you here. 11:1. Go ahead and read.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
Now, this is not the temple that the abomination is going to sit in. This is the temple that Jesus is going to be in. That's why it's the temple of God and the altar of them that worship therein. This is the temple that Zerubbabel is going to be in.
Yes, sir.
Because the Lord is going to put something to make sure that this temple, that the people over there that call themselves going to build, is not going to be on the same spot where Jesus' temple is going to be.
Right.
He left the courtway to them. Go ahead and read.
But the court, which is without the temple, leave out, and measure it not. But it is given it to the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
That's times and a half. 42 months, 3.5 years, sisters and brothers. This is the time of the Great Tribulation. You've had people teaching all over the world that the Great Tribulation is going to be 7 years. That is a ploy from Satan. Because you know what's going to happen? When you see this guy go over there and take his seat in the temple, you're going to say, I can relax. I ain't got to worry about it. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And when I get close to, when it's close to the 3.5 years be over with, then I'm going to flee. Too late. You got it. He said, what he's going to do? So he's going to give it to the Gentiles. Yep. And they are going to tread the holy city. But you see, well, why is that, Brother Buie? Because these people are going to build a temple in Jerusalem. And what's going to happen is, this guy going to come over there with 10 armies. And they're going to deal with the people over there that call themselves us. And they're going to set Papa out of Rome directly in that temple. That's when the abomination of desolation will be in the holy place. And they ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. Go what verse?
That was in it too.
Go ahead.
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses. And they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
Now, how long is 1,260 days? 3.5 years. Why is the Lord going to have 2 witnesses here with power? We're not going to deal with what they're dealing with. They're going to have the power to bring a drought. They're going to have power to cause fire to come down from heaven. Why is it that the Lord going to have 2 men with all this power? Because he's going to have to balance this false prophet or this abomination. Because the abomination is going to cause fire to come down from heaven. The abomination is going to make a statue, I'm pretty sure it's a granite, something made out of rock, make it walk and talk. So if the Lord don't have the power, have some righteous brothers here to combat this evil, then everybody go over to the abomination.
Yeah, they will.
So the Lord always have a balance. Always you have a choice. Go with these or go with that.
Right.
That's the way the Lord operates. So now you don't have to get that mark. Believe what these 2 guys are telling you. Even if you fall, if you find yourself outside of the place of safety in the wilderness, even if you fall, the Lord going to raise you up. But if you receive that mark, you're going to get cut off. He's going to give you the balance, sisters and brothers. Now let's go and look at the starting of this thing. Let's go into Revelation, the 13th chapter. See, most people don't know about this because the preachers keep them out of Revelation and out of the Old Testament.
Yeah, they do.
That's where you walking around like somebody that took a knife or something and cut your eyes right out your head. You blind as Ray Charles. And he's dead, so you know he's blind.
Right.
Revelation 13:1. Now here come this 4th beast. He's showing you how he's coming. Because he said, first he had 10 horns. That means, and 3 of them was plucked up. But the 7 that was left tried to resuscitate this beast, trying to bring him. And the last one that we're waiting on right now, he is going to bring this thing back together, sisters and brothers. And he's going to bring it back together. And he's going to be king over all of Western Europe. And he's going to have him 10 nations that's going to give their power to him. So remember, we saw 4 beasts come up, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And one of them had 10, and one had 10 horns. And that one with the 10 horns had 1 head. That was the Roman head. But now, here come the resurrected 4th beast. Resurrected that 10th time. 13:1. Go ahead.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea.
This is 1 beast, not 4. A beast rise up out of the sea. Go ahead and read.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns. And upon his horns 10 crowns.
Now this beast had 7 heads and 10 horns. Where did the 7 heads come from? First head was a Babylonian head. Second was a Medo-Persian head. And then you had 4 heads because Alexander the Great died young and his generals took over. So there was 4 heads, which made 6 heads, sisters and brothers. And all his generals that represented him, they ran the Greek Empire before it disintegrated. And then you had the Roman head. That was the 7 heads, sisters and brothers. So who are we talking about? All of the Gentile nations down into the resurrected Roman Empire. Or either you can call it Babylon the Great. And what it had 10 horns. And each one of these horns had a crown on them. That means that each one of these was a head of state, a president or a prime minister, or whatever he called himself. He was the leader of his nation. But they're all going to give their power to one man. Go ahead and read.
End of 13. And upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. And his feet were as the feet of a bear. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, in his seat, and great authority.
Now you notice, this had a part of each one of them beasts if we had read them all. But he said a dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority. Who is the dragon, sisters and brothers? Satan the devil. You know, I have a little bit of information that the whole world don't know. In all of the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, Satan is the only one that said he wants to go to heaven.
Right.
So now, if you think you're going to heaven and that's where you want to go, then who are you following? It is so simple.
Yes, sir.
I got to tell people all the time, I wouldn't ask you, wouldn't put the burden on you to find it twice in the Bible. Find it one time where God said he's going to take us to heaven. And everything they read, I said, read a little more. Oh, it's not like that. Of course it's not. You have to read. So he got his power, see, and great authority from Satan. So that means that whatever he do, he's going to do what Satan tells him to do. Go ahead and read.
And I saw one of his head as it were wounded to death.
Go ahead.
And his deadly wound was healed.
Uh-huh.
And all the world wanted after the beast. And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast.
So that deadly wound that was healed, that head that was healed, that's the Roman head. And so all the world wanted after the beast. And they worshiped the dragon that gave power to the beast. What you mean, Brother Bill, all the world running after the beast? Look at what you have. Around Christmas time, what nation is it on the planet that don't have Christmas trees scattered all in the household? Everybody is talking Easter. All of them are observing Sunday. So when you worship the beast, you worship the one that gave the power to the beast. Satan the devil, sister and brother. That's the dragon. But the whole world is asleep on it. That's why what this Lord is going to do with this great tribulation is going to be a marvelous thing. He's going to bring your pain from the one that you think is the holiest person on the planet. And so what you think about that?
Right.
Finish that verse. Go ahead.
Middle of 4. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is likened to the beast, who is able to make war with them.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to say at that time, because that European common market is going to be a powerful nation. Powerful nation. You know why? Because the whole Western bloc, led by 10 nations, and they're all moving with one mind. And they all have combined armies. That's going to be a huge army. And everybody's going to wonder after them. And they're going to ask the question, who can make war with all of this big, with the whole of Western Europe?
Right.
Go ahead and read.
And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things.
That's that little horn now. Go ahead and read.
And blasphemy. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Now you notice how the Lord always let you know that this thing is going to be 3.5 years,
yes,
42 months. The Lord knew that beast power is going to put that power thing out there, that this tribulation is going to come, but it ain't going to be but it's going to be 7 years. You looking for it 7 years. You're going to wait, and you're going to mess around and wait on them 7 years, and you're going to get caught right in the mouth of the lion. And that's going to be a bad time. So he's going to continue 42 months. That's 3.5 years. Go ahead and read.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle.
Go ahead.
And them that dwell in heaven.
He blasphemed God and everything that God said. He's doing it right now, but nobody paying no attention to it. Why is it that God said the seventh day is my Sabbath? Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And now all the churches are going to church on the first day of the week and say this is the Christian Sabbath day. That is an insult to Christ.
Yep.
But the whole world is falling behind his sisters and brothers. And he blaspheming. Jesus said, I'm going to raise you up at the last day. This organization said you go to heaven right away.
Yep.
Jesus said the dead know nothing. This organization said they're going to be looking down on you smiling. Jesus even gave you a dietary law, and I do mean Jesus, because he's the only God we ever dealt with. They told you that all you got to do is pray over it and you can eat anything. Sisters and brothers, this is a horrible thing when you look at what's being taught in churches tomorrow. 90 9.5% of it is wrong. But you wouldn't know. You know why? Because you don't read. You encourage not to read. And this is another thing too. Go ahead and read.
7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
Now you say you're a saint. Are you prepared for this? It was given unto him to make war with the saints. Go ahead.
And to overcome them.
In the wind. Ain't that something? The Lord is going to allow this to happen. Because he got to get somebody's attention. He's going to make war with the saints and he's going to win. Go ahead and read.
And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
So you ain't going to be safe nowhere. So where you going, sisters and brothers? Where you going?
Right.
Only thing you have to go is to the wilderness. That's the place of safety. Because the Lord going to let this man come up in this Western Europe thing under the power of the Pope. And he going to call it, sisters and brothers. And this is what you don't know. Go and read your history. In the name of religion, more people have been killed more than any other cause. You understand that?
Yeah.
And this guy going to put a cap on it. So the only way for you to escape it, because you will not be raptured off this earth, is to find out where the place of safety is and go there. Well, Brother Buie, what if I can't, if I'm immobile, or if I'm in a wheelchair, or if I'm in traction on a bed? This God of yours will get you over there one way or another. Why do I say that? Because he didn't leave one Israelite, hear me, not one Israelite in Egypt. And I'm pretty sure you have some Israelites that couldn't walk and that were sick. But he brought every one of them out of it. So before this great tribulation take place, if you get this thing right, the Lord going to deliver you.
Yes, sir.
Let's go into Revelation, the 12th chapter. Back right up to the 12th chapter. See, this is why I say this thing, it's worth getting this thing right. It's worth getting it right. People don't like to take the time to learn how to save themselves. People are in a hurry. Several people told me, brother, sometimes the lessons are short. You know, they want sound bites. I don't need no sound bite. I need to know what I'm doing. And the only way to know what you're doing is to get you some knowledge.
Right.
Well, you know, the people don't have no patience. I said, well, that's too bad. They ain't going to have no patience in the lake of fire, but they ain't coming out of it. You better get this thing. 12 and 1. 12 and 1. Because this is talking Israel here. Physically, emotionally, and spiritual also. Because what people don't understand, that when the Lord brought Israel out of Egypt, it was a mixed multitude. This is a lot of my Hebrew brothers don't understand. It's going to always be a mixed multitude. Because you're going to always have people out of other nations is more comfortable with the servants of God than they are with their own nation that ain't serving nobody but Satan.
Right.
So what you going to do? I'm going with y'all.
Yes, sir.
And if you were smart, you said, come on. Because if you said, no, you ain't going with me, then the Lord going to fix it. He going to send them in your place and you going to stay here. Somebody better pay attention.
Yep.
Revelation 12 and 1. Go ahead.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet.
Go ahead.
And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Now, if you want to know who that woman is Israel. You can, on your own, you can go and read Genesis, the 37th chapter. Talk about Jacob and his sons. On your own, not today.
Right.
And the sun represent Jacob. The moon represent his wife. And the 12 stars represent his 12 sons, which made up the 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead and read.
And she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered.
And she was with child. What is this great child that come out of Israel? Jesus. This is the one. Go ahead and read.
And there appeared another one in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. And did cast them to the earth.
Now look, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. Wait a minute. Didn't we define these 7 heads and 10 horns out of nations?
Yes, sir.
And also the common market? Well, why then did he say the dragon stood before? Because the dragon is operating through these Gentile nations, sisters and brothers. The dragon, Satan, the devil, is a cherub angel. You know what a cherub angel look like? He has 4 faces, calf feet, 6 wings with eyes all over him. That didn't define him there, did it?
No, it didn't.
He defined him by the men that's going to represent him. Remember, he gave this beast his seat, his power, and great authority.
Yes, sir.
So they stood, in this case, it stood for before him in the form of the Roman Empire. Tried to cut Jesus off. Didn't Herod kill all the boys trying to get him?
Yep.
Go ahead and read.
Middle of 4. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with the rod of iron.
Who's to rapture everybody off to heaven?
No.
He brought forth a man-child, which was to rule all nations with the rod of iron. And it's going to happen. What happened to this man-child? Go ahead and read.
And her child was caught up into God and to his throne.
And her child was caught up into God and to his throne, sisters and brothers. And to his throne. That's what Jesus is right now. He came because he had to come and die for the sins of the people because he was a sin offering. The world don't even know that. But once that happened, he finished what he was doing. He finished his 3.5 years of his ministry because he had another 3.5 years to deal with it. And then he went on back to heaven. But what about the woman? She done went through it, but at this time, we're going to jump way to the future. So let's see what this woman going to do here. Go ahead and read.
And the woman fled into the wilderness.
And the woman fled into the wilderness.
Will she have a place prepared of God?
Well, she have a place prepared for God. Go ahead, God. Go ahead.
That they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Now, how many years is that? 3.5 years. The Lord have it all laid out. At that time, and we're going to show you the preparation of it, he will have this place prepared for this woman. That's those of us, sisters and brothers, that got this thing right, know the sign, and know when to move. Because he's going to have everything else prepared for us. It's just like he had the kingdom of the Father was prepared for man from the foundation of the world. But we was too stupid to believe him and take advantage of it.
Yes, sir.
Prepared from the foundation of the world. Well, he's going to have this prepared. For us to be safe for that 3.5 years while the rest of the world is going through holy hell. And that defines it too, because he said in the name of righteousness, he shall destroy many. Holy hell. That ain't no misfit. And that's looking, when you get in this wilderness, ain't nobody going to do nothing to you. No, I mean, nobody. Let's go in the 91st chapter of Psalm and look at it. Psalm chapter 91. And I'm talking about people been in church all their life and don't even know about this. And that's the sad part about it. The Lord didn't map this thing out. He didn't tell you what's going to happen. And told you how horrible it's going to be. Then he turned around and told you, I got a place for you to go, though. Now, you get there, ain't nobody going to do nothing to you. But if you don't read, or either your preacher was not sent by God, you don't know about this. It's all that simple. You don't have a clue of what's going on, but this is going to happen. Psalm 91 and verse 1. Go ahead.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High,
yes, sir,
shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Yes, sir. It's going to be the secret place of the Most High. It's secret right now. Don't nobody know about it. And you're going to abide under the shadow of the Most High. Go ahead and read.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress.
Go ahead.
My God in him I will trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
He's going to deliver his servant, sisters and brothers. This is this woman we read about in Revelation 12 chapter. Go ahead and read.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust.
Go ahead.
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Now that is your shield and buckler. The Lord's truth, sisters and brothers. You know about this thing. And you know his law, and you walk in it, and you know his signs, so you know how, when to move. So what's going to deliver you? His truth. That's your shield and buckler. But don't nobody deal with the truth, so you ain't got no shield and no buckler. You are butt naked.
Yep.
It's all that simple.
That's it.
Go ahead and read.
Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flieth by day.
Now you ain't going to be afraid of none of that. There's a big war going on outside. Go ahead and read.
Nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness.
All the famines and diseases that come from war, you ain't going to be afraid of none of that. Go ahead and read.
Nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. You
going to be in the place of safety? The Lord going to have you to see all of this. I don't know whether by TV or whatever. But you're going to be able to see it. He said 1,000 going to fall at your right hand and 10,000 at your left, but ain't none of it going to come near you. They ain't going to shoot one shot over there. Just like when Sennacherib had Hezekiah caged in. Tell me, what are you going to do? The Lord told the prophet, you go out there and you tell Hezekiah, he ain't going to cast no block against this city. Right. He ain't going to build no bank. He ain't going to shoot one arrow over the wall. And send one angel out there and kill 185,000 soldiers. This is the God that we're dealing with, sisters and brothers. Know him and trust in him. Do what he said, and you will be in the place of safety.
Yes, sir.
He said, look here. 1,000 going to fall at thy side. 10,000 at thy right hand. But it shall not come near thee. Go ahead and read.
Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
But you will be able to see it all.
Yes, sir.
What happened to the wicked? Only with your eyes will you be able to look and see what's going to happen. Go ahead and read.
Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation.
So we live in the Lord, sisters and brothers. We walk the Lord. We eat the foods that he said eat.
Yes, sir.
We don't eat the foods that he said don't eat. We worship on the day that he said worship on. We keep the law that he said keep.
Yes, sir.
That means we live in the Lord. He's our habitation.
That's right, brother.
This is what he's telling you here. Go ahead and read.
There shall no evil befall thee.
None. Go ahead.
Neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
How is it that that's not going to happen to you? Right here. Go ahead and read.
For he shall give his angels charge over thee.
Because he's going to give his angels charge over you.
To keep thee in all thy ways.
To keep thee in all of thy ways. I mean, that angel going to be there. He ain't going to let one bullet come across.
No.
Ain't nothing going to happen. But this is the way the Lord operates. It's just not going to happen then for the first time. It's always like this. Give you a case in point. Let's go into Exodus, the 23rd chapter. Exodus chapter 23. See, I done seen this.
Yeah, it has.
And now, he ain't going nowhere. The Lord said, according to what I covenanted with you when I brought you out of Egypt, my spirit is still among you.
Yes, sir.
He's still here. He's still here. Now look what the Lord said. We're going to read one verse. 23, Exodus chapter 23, and we're going to read verse 20. It's the same thing he's going to do in the future. He's already done in the past. If you want to know how the Lord going to operate tomorrow, see what he did yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Verse 20, read it.
Behold, I sent an angel before thee to keep thee in the way.
I sent an angel before thee to keep you in the way. Go ahead and read.
And to bring thee into the place which I have prepared.
And to bring you to the place which I have prepared. Didn't the woman go to a place which was prepared for her?
Yes, sir.
He did it before. He going to do it again.
Yeah, he is.
It's all going to take place on this earth. I don't care how holy you call yourself. I don't care how much you shout and fall out and kick. I don't care how many foreign languages that you can't understand that you speak. If this angel don't go before you, you in trouble. It's all that simple, sister and brother. You are in trouble. So now, when he say going to send his angel before you to take and keep you in the way to the place he prepared, that ain't no new thing. That's an old thing.
Yes,
now let's go back. I should have told you to keep your finger. Let's go back to Revelation, the 12th chapter. Revelation chapter 12. Because, sisters and brothers, this thing is laid out. That's why the Lord said, get wisdom and knowledge, but with all your getting, get understanding. That's why all of these years, 40-something years, and I feel just like I was the day that I walked into. Because it just keeps getting better. Because I keep seeing more and more. And I know this thing is a throw away. I intend to see it. People think I be joking when it's, brother, you know, you're getting old there. You must not start thinking about funeral arrangements. I'm finishing this thing. That's it. I have prayed to the Lord. I said, Lord, you started this big work by my hand. Let me finish it.
Yes, sir.
And I intend to do so. And I'm older than most of you in here. Now, if I'm going to finish it, then you should be able to finish it.
Yes, sir.
Revelation 12. And we're going to start at verse 14. Revelation 12 and 14. So the woman fled to the wilderness. Go ahead and read.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness.
Go ahead.
Into her place where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time from the face of the serpent.
Now, because that's who the serpent's going to be operating. He's the one that the Lord is letting pull this trigger on this thing. That's why I said the people that's working got their seat and power and great authority from him. Yep. So he's going to get you off there, and you're going to be in there for 3.5 years. This time it said times and a half, just like it said in Daniel's, didn't it? Because we're talking the same time, sisters and brothers. We are talking the same time. Go ahead and read.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
Go ahead.
And the earth helped the woman.
Now, it's probably this flood is an army, sisters and brothers.
Right.
But the Lord is going to do something. He's going to keep this army from catching you. He said, earth, help the woman. Whether this is symbolic or whether it is an actual, either way it go, it's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Finish that.
And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Now, when he couldn't get the woman, he was mad at her. So look what he did. And the dragon was wroth with the woman. Go ahead and read.
And went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
So he turned on our seed. Who is our seed? Go ahead and read.
Which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
See, you got some people that's keeping the commandments of God, sisters and brothers. And the testimony of Jesus. They just don't know enough about this wilderness.
Right.
Some way, I don't know how, they missed this. But they said, we are going to keep the commandments of God and the testimony of Jesus regardless of what is done to her.
Yes, sir.
So what is? Satan's going to turn on them. And those are the saints, sisters and brothers, that he's going to make war with and prevail.
Yeah, he is.
He is going to prevail. So when the Lord say he's going to bear you on eagle's wings, that don't mean you're going to have some great big wings we're going to sit on. That's talking about his power. But then he did this before. Let's go into Exodus, the 19th chapter. Exodus chapter 19. Because, sisters and brothers, this got to be known. This got to be understood. Yeah, you got to eat and drink this. You got to make the Lord your habitation.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you're going to get caught in a condition that's right up on the world right now, that if you don't have no knowledge, you will not survive.
No, you won't.
Exodus 19, and we're going to start in verse 1. Exodus 19 and verse 1. Okay, go ahead.
In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, The same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai.
Uh-huh.
But they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount.
Lord took Israel the same way that he going to take us when we go back. Go ahead and read.
And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel.
Uh-huh.
Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians.
So you saw how I destroyed the Egyptians. Go ahead and read.
And I bare you on eagle's wing.
Uh-huh.
And brought you unto myself.
And how I bare you on eagle's wing and brought you unto myself. That's what he's going to do when he take us back. That's why it's a woman was given the wings of an eagle.
Yes, sir.
In other words, with his power, he going to bring you, and ain't nobody going to be able to lay a finger on you.
Nope.
Satan going to send all his minions after him. But remember, Satan is the created, and God is the creator.
Yes, sir.
Created can't beat the creator. The servants of the created is inferior to the servants of the creator. So just like he bears on eagle's wings, when we come out of Egypt, he going to do it when he take us back. All you got to do is know this thing. Walk as his laws and statutes. See, sometimes you might be around when good comes. But if you ain't clean enough, you can't take advantage of it. Now let's go into Hosea, the 2nd chapter. Because the Lord, that's why a lot of people that's in Israel now, some of the brothers and sisters over there, they're going to have to come out of that.
Yeah, they are.
Because if they don't come out of there, they're going to be destroyed. Because the Lord is going to flatten Jerusalem and Israel. He's going to run everything out. He's going to take a broom and sweep all uncleanliness out of it. And ain't nobody going to be in there, not even Israel. He's going to take you through the wilderness. Just like he did in Egypt. He run over with, brother asked me, brother, when you going to go to the homeland? I said, when I'm a part of the sovereign government. In other words, when I'm the ruler, I'm a part of the ruling people, not the one that's being ruled. How am I going to go over there and be ruled over by Edom? I don't know Edom. At least I know this Gentile over here. I can't beat him, but I know his habits, so I know how to stay out of his way. I don't know how to circumvent that cat over there.
No, I don't.
Over here, I'm a rabbit in the woods. Out over there, I'm a rabbit in the open desert. Don't know how to protect myself. Until the Lord come, I'm staying right here. Hosea chapter 2. And we're going to start reading at verse 14. Hosea 2 and verse 14. This is what the Lord talking about. This is the same woman, which is Israel. This is who she represents. Go ahead and read.
Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her.
That's what he's going to do. Go ahead and read.
And I will give her her vineyards from thence and the valley Achor for a door hope. And she shall sing there as in the days of her youth and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt.
See, look, the Lord said, look, he's going to lure us into the wilderness. He's going to take us to the wilderness, and now he's going to give us our vineyard. We're going to know, look, sisters and brothers, everybody in here come from somewhere in Israel.
Right.
Everybody in here have a plot of land that the Lord gave to their fathers. And he was so strict about it until you could not sell this land. Because it was the inheritance of the fathers, and the children are going to get the land.
Right.
That's like when Jeremiah's cousin wanted to get rid of his land. He couldn't sell it to nobody, his nephew, but his uncle. Because they come out the same tribe. He took the deed, put it in a bottle, and buried it in the ground. Somebody in here might be the one that picks up that bottle and says, okay, this is my plot. This is what the world don't understand. The world don't want to understand it because the world has been taught they're going to heaven and lead this earth. No, you ain't going nowhere. You got a plot here.
Yeah, you do.
So he going to give you your vineyards while you're in the wilderness. So when you come up out the wilderness, you're going to know exactly where you're supposed to be, and that's where you're going. What verse was that?
That was in 15.
Go ahead and read.
And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishai, and shalt call me no more Baal.
You know what Ishai means? My husband. Because the Lord is going to marry Israel. He divorced us. He said, I'm going to marry you. That's what nobody understand the term, the marriage of the Lamb. He used to be our husband. But we fired him.
Yeah, we did.
And he has been hacked off about it ever since. And another lesson, I'll show you how hacked off he is. So we ain't going to call him just Baal, we're going to call him my husband. Go ahead and read. What verse?
17. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of thy mouth.
All these pagan names. Go ahead and read.
And they shall no more be remembered by their names. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth. And I will make them to lie down safely.
Now, what is this covenant going to make with the beasts of the field and the fowls and the snakes and everything? He is going to take you back to pre-flood days, in the days of Adam. Well, animals don't attack animals no more. Animals don't attack people anymore. Snakes don't bite nobody no more. You don't have to worry about nothing. He said, I'm going to make this peace with them.
Yes, sir.
You could go out to Brookfield Zoo and jump over there and play with the lions and tigers. They ain't going to do nothing to you then. I'm looking for that. Go ahead and read.
And I will betroth thee unto me forever.
That's betrothed. That's betrothed means promise, but really it should have been I will marry you to me forever. That's what he's talking about here. Go ahead and read.
Yeah. I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment.
Go ahead.
And in loving kindness and in mercy. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord.
Now, that's when you're going to know the Lord. You're going to really know who he is, sister. Because you're going to be in a place that is desert now. Can't nobody inhabit it. They tried everything. They're going to irrigate it. Can't do nothing. Plant trees, they just die. Because the Lord is preserving this big desert land over there in the Middle East, what we call. Some people say Sinai Peninsula, that's where Moses them went. Some say Arabia, either way, wherever it is, the Lord knows where it is. And he ain't going to send me to no bogus vacant lot. He's going to prepare. Didn't he say the place which I prepare?
Yes, sir.
Let's go into Isaiah, the 35th chapter. Isaiah 35. Because you got to believe in this God, sisters and brothers. Yeah, if you don't believe in him, you can't serve him.
No, you can't.
So when the Lord brings us back, it's going to be ready. Because the Lord is a God of preparation. He's going to take you where he wants you to be, and when you get there, it's going to be ready to receive you. 35:1, Isaiah chapter 35. And we're going to start reading at verse 1. Okay, go ahead.
The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them.
It's going to be waiting on us. Go ahead and read.
And the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose.
Ain't that something? All of a sudden, the desert going to start blossoming. Things going to start going on in the desert that man they're going to look for it, but the Lord ain't going to let them deal with it. Or either he's going to hide it from them. I've always wondered, I said, when they start blossoming and reeds and vegetation, right away this man going to want to go over there and throw some condos on it. Now, that's one thing. I'm going to let you know one thing I've been wondering. How is he going to keep them from doing that? He going to do it, though. But go ahead and read.
It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given into it.
We are the glory of Lebanon, sisters and brothers. Go ahead and read.
The excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord, and the excellency of our God.
We're going to see it, sisters and brothers. See him because he's going to be there. Skip down to verse 10. Verse 10 and go ahead.
And the ransom of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their head.
We are the ransom of the Lord, sisters and brothers. We are. But let's back up. I'm missing too much. Back up to verse 5 and go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped.
I know this is spiritual, but also I believe it's physical too. I think whatever else you got, once you step off in that wilderness, it is gone.
It's over.
Go ahead and read.
Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing.
Go ahead.
For in the wilderness shall waters break out and streams in the desert.
All you got to do, if you're lame and crippled, get to the wilderness. You're going to have to leap. If you're dumb, can't talk, when you get there, you're going to probably talk yourself to death. Because it said water shall break out and streams in the desert. Go ahead and read.
And the parched ground shall become a pool. And the thirsty land springs of water.
Go ahead.
In the habitation of dragons, where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes.
Boy, ain't that something? This is the desert. This is what we're talking about. Go ahead and read.
And an highway shall be there. A way. And it shall be called the way of holiness.
That's why I say you got to be clean. Your God is holy. You got to be holy. Because the place that you going is called the way of holiness.
Yeah,
Go ahead and read.
The unclean shall not pass over it.
No, sir.
But it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools shall not err therein.
And once you get there, if you're a fool, you're going to be, all of a sudden, you're going to have some sense. Because you ain't going to err therein. It's the place of the wayfaring men, the travelers. Go ahead and read.
No lion shall be there. No any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there.
That's us, sisters and brothers. We will be the redeemed. The Lord done redeemed us. And that's where we're going to walk there. You ain't worried about no beast or no lion or nothing there to attack you.
No, you ain't.
Go ahead and read.
And the ransom of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their head. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and singing shall flee away.
You ain't going to have no more of that.
Sorrow and sighing shall flee away.
And sighing. You ain't going to have no more trouble, sister and brother. Because we will be the ransom. He has ransomed us. He's taken us into this place of safety that he's going to prepare for us. And we ain't going to be sighing and wondering. We're going to be rejoicing. Lord, these are the people that's going to get there before the great tribulation. Let's go into Isaiah the 41st chapter. Because the Lord wrote all this good stuff. And don't nobody read it. You're a New Testament Christian. You don't know about all this good stuff. You're going to be over here either hiding or being stamped with the mark of the beast when you could be laying over in this wilderness eating grapes and vegetation and probably laying up in the cool stream water, cooling off, instead of running for your life.
Right.
And the only reason you're doing it because you ain't got no knowledge. Because the Lord said, and you don't know no truth. So therefore you don't have no shield and buckler. Just think about it, sisters and brothers. Isaiah 41 and verse 17. We're going to start at verse 17. 41 and 17. Okay, go ahead.
When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, their tongue faileth for thirst. I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them.
No, go ahead.
I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys.
Go ahead.
I will make the wilderness a pool of water and the dry land springs of water.
He said, don't worry about it. I'm going to give you all the water you can drink. Go ahead and read.
I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the shittim tree, and the myrtle, and the tree, and the oil tree. And I will set in the desert the fir tree, and the pine, and the box tree together. He said, I'm going to do all of that stuff. You got the people over there some years back tried to plant that. They plant them and the Arabs come and tear them up. When the Lord do this in his place of safety, ain't nobody going to tear them up. Go ahead and read. That they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the Lord have done this. And the Holy One of Israel have created it.
So when we see that, sisters and brothers, we're going to know who did that. The world going to know. But they ain't going to be able to deal with it. Only the ransom and the ones that's right in the eyes of the Lord and the ones that's clean. Find out about this truth. Walk in it. Throw opinions over your shoulder, because there ain't no room for opinion in the Word of God. There's only the Word of God.
That's it.
So what had happened is it had made it a point of debate. There is no debate. Isaiah 43. Isaiah 43, and we're going to start at verse 1. 43 and verse 1. Go ahead.
But now thus said the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine.
He said, I want you to, don't fear. He said, I redeem you. I didn't call you by your name. You are mine. Verse 3, and go ahead.
For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee.
He said, look, I gave people away for y'all. Go ahead and read.
Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore I will give men for thee and people for thy life.
And people going to find that out, sisters and brothers. They think the Lord didn't cast us away. Anybody do anything they want to us and don't nothing happen, they're going to find out. Payday is coming.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead and read.
Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west.
Go ahead.
I will say to the north, give up. And to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far and my daughters from the ends of the earth.
I mean, wherever they are, I want them here and I want them now. I believe every word of this, sister.
Yes, sir.
I believe every word of it. He said, I want you to bring my son and my daughters. Y'all done did them bad long enough.
Yep.
Skip down to verse 14. Verse 14 and go ahead.
Thus said the Lord your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel.
Go ahead.
For your sake I have sent to Babylon and have brought down all their nobles.
He said, for your sake, Israel, I was sent to Babylon, I have brought down all their nobles because of what they did to you. Go ahead and read.
And the Chaldean whose cry is in the ships.
Go ahead.
I am the Lord, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King.
He said, I want you to know this is your King talking. This is Jesus talking, sister and brother. He is the one that's going to sit on the throne of David. He is the one. Skip down to verse 18 and go ahead.
Remember ye not the former things, neither to consider the things of old.
Go ahead.
Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert.
He said, this is a new thing. He said, now I hit a rock and brought some water out for Moses then. They drank.
Right.
But now this time, I'm going to put rivers all over the desert.
Right.
He said, y'all ain't seen nothing like this. This is a new thing here. Go ahead and read.
The beasts of the field shall honor me, and the dragons and the owls, because I get water in the wilderness and rivers in the desert.
Go ahead.
To get drink to my people, my chosen.
He said, even the animals in the desert go honor me. When I start putting water out there for my chosen, go ahead and read.
This people have I formed for myself.
This people have I formed for myself. Go ahead and read.
They shall show forth my praise.
They're the one that's going to show forth my praise. Can't nobody else do it. That's why everybody's going to heaven, because they can't do it. That's why Satan is in hell, because they can't do it.
Right.
Barbecuing people, because they can't do it.
Right.
That's why the majority of the people going to be in church tomorrow on Sunday, because they cannot show forth the praise of the Lord. Only we can do that.
That's right, brother.
We was chosen to do it. And me, for one, I will not abdicate my role.
No, sir.
It's all that simple. That's why it's an embarrassment to me somebody going to come and try to debate me over with Christianity. Just like a college kid, a college student debating with a pre-grammar school child. You can't even communicate. And the Lord is letting us know, just like he did it in the old days, he going to do it in the new. Let's go into Micah, the 7th chapter. Micah, the 7th chapter. That's why I just look at people, you know. He run around going to talk to me like some people tell me, well, you know, Mr. Armstrong is a Gentile. He ain't no priest.
Right.
Whatever he said don't mean nothing.
Right.
I'm talking about embarrassing. Well, you know, I'm Seventh-day Adventist. I say that's started by the Gentiles too. I don't want to hear.
Right.
He going to honor the Sabbath day, and then when you get through honoring, he's going to take you directly to heaven. Where did he get that from? From the beast, who received their power from the dragon. And the dragon want to go to heaven. I ain't going to hear it, sisters and brothers. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm just stating the fact.
Right.
It's weird. Italian say I'm Italian. Everybody say, okay. German say I'm a German. Okay. Irish say I'm Irish. Okay. And then I say I'm an Israelite. Oh, you radical. That's really something, ain't it? Everybody have got to maintain their nationality, but they have gotten together and made mine a religion. And when I stand up and declare it, everybody say, I am radical. I am not radical. I am just stating the fact. Micah 7, and we're going to start at verse 14. Micah 7 and verse 14. Okay, go ahead.
Feed thy people with thy rod, the flock of thine heritage, which dwells solitary in the wood, in the midst of Carmel. Let them feed in Bashan and Gilead, as in the days of old.
Now, I want you to feed your people just like in the days of old, sisters and brothers. But then I'm looking for something else. The Lord going to let us know that just like it was when he brought us out of Egypt, 15?
Yeah, 15.
Go ahead.
According to the day that thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I show unto him marvelous things.
Now, according to the days, when I brought you out of Egypt, I will show unto you marvelous things. According to the days when I brought you out of Egypt. What is it that he showed us when he brought us out of Egypt? What are these marvelous things he going to do? Let's go look at it. Let's go into Exodus, the 13th chapter. Exodus chapter 13. See, the Lord lets you look back and see the reality of his operation so you won't doubt them in the future.
Right.
Somebody always tell you, well, I did this and I did that, and you can't ever find no evidence of it. Maybe you ain't going to believe it. Guy come, well, you know, last year I killed 3 people. Then you go in the news, people, yep, he killed 3 people. So now if you don't get out of my way, I'm going to kill you. Yep, I'm going to get out of your way. Because you got some evidence, don't you? Same thing when God give you evidence. Exodus 13, and we're going to start reading at verse 17. Exodus 13 and verse 17. Okay, go ahead.
And it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war and they return into Egypt.
So the Lord said, I ain't going to take them directly to the land because they're going to run to the Philistines. These people ain't got no stomach for fighting. So he took them right through the wilderness of Egypt. Go ahead and read.
But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt.
Go ahead.
And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you.
Go ahead.
And they took their journey from Sukkot and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness.
Go ahead.
And the Lord went before them by the day in the pillar of a cloud, and led them the way. And by night in the pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night.
So the Lord took them by way of the wilderness, sisters and brothers, and he didn't leave them in the daytime. it was a pillar of cloud there. And in the night, it was a pillar of fire, letting the people know, I'm still here with you. Mm-hmm. I'm still here. Go ahead and read.
He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people.
Now, he stayed with them. Now, I got to ask the question, what Lord was this? Let's go and look at it. Because you need to know who this was right here. Let's go into 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. So when you're running some of them Hebrews trying to rag on Jesus, you just say, okay, I don't talk to dead men walking. Well, that's what you are.
Yeah, you are.
Dead men walking. Ragging on, boy, these Hebrews love to rag. In fact, they hate Jesus. 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, we're going to see who that was that did this, brought Israel through the sea and round in the wilderness. Who was it? 1 Corinthians 10, and we're going to start reading at verse 1. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 1. Okay, read it.
Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea.
We just got to read about that, didn't we? Go ahead and read.
And did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink.
And who was that?
For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ.
It was Jesus, sisters and brothers. It's always been him. Always. And you got these brothers running around ragging on him. Well, you see, I'm a servant of God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Who do you think Jesus is?
Right.
It's just like you got these foolish people talking about, we want to get away from Obamacare. Then ask somebody, say, what you think about Obamacare? Oh, shit, we hate it. That ain't no good. Well, what you think about the Affordable Care? Well, we like that. That's good. Well, that is Obamacare. Ignorance, sisters and brothers, is dangerous. I keep saying it all the time. So you thought you was killing Obamacare, now you done kill your own insurance. Now you out in the streets and you're, parading up and down with flags and you're protesting. Because you screwed up because you was ignorant. Ignorance is dangerous, sisters and brothers. Same thing here. Know who it is that you were dealing with. And that rock was Christ. Go ahead and read.
But with many of them God was not well pleased. But they were overthrown in the wilderness.
That's what he did. Go ahead and read.
Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted.
He said, now these things was our example.
Yep.
Look back and see what happened to the people that lusted after evil things. See what God did to them. And if he did it to them, he will do it to you.
Yeah, he will.
This is our example. He put it out there so us to look back and say, look here, no, I ain't going to do that. It's all that simple. It's just like somebody looking at nice, cute little old tigers. Oh, look, they're so beautiful, and they still got a nice stripe. I'm going to jump over in the cage and pet some of them. And then they jump him and eat him up. The next guy said, oh, no. I ain't going to do that because the guy that got ate up was an example, wasn't he?
Yep.
God showed you that, sisters and brothers, so you won't have to deal with this. Get down to verse 9. Verse 9 and go ahead.
Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted.
Don't tempt them like they did. Go ahead and read.
And were destroyed of serpents.
Now you sent snakes in there to bite them. Go ahead and read.
Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer.
That destroyer, you had to let Satan destroy 70,000 of Israel. Go ahead and read.
Now all these things happened to them for examples. And they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come.
You see what he said? All these things are our example. And they are written to admonish us not to do the same thing.
Right.
I'm the same God, I changed not. I did it to them. If you cross the line, I'm going to do it to you. The Lord told Israel, I'm going to give you the land of Canaan. Now I want you to kill all of them. I want you to destroy their gods. Because if you don't, they're going to infect you. You're going to start to serve their God. Just like I'm driving them out for serving their God, if you do the same thing, I'm going to throw you out of the land. Where are we, Israel? The proof is in the pudding. Right. It's all that simple, sisters and brothers. It's all that simple. So now, that rock and the ones that we saw that was doing Israel was Jesus, sisters and brothers. It was him. Yes, and I'm going to tell you something. When we go back to the wilderness then, it's going to be him. Let's go into Isaiah, the 16th chapter. Isaiah chapter 16. That's why I tell you, boy, it's Hebrew. Boy, he better get him an education with the quickness. You need to be on a speed learning. Because the Lord is talking about some ugly stuff. And you're going to fall, if you don't get your head in order, you're going to fall smack dab in the middle of it. Isaiah 16 and verse 1. 16 and 1. Go ahead and read.
Sing ye the Lamb to the ruler of the land, from Selah to the wilderness, and to the mount of the daughter of Zion.
Who is this Lamb? That's Jesus. Mm-hmm. Why are you going to send him to the wilderness? Because that's where the daughters of Zion going to be. You ain't going to be in the land. The woman going to be there waiting, and the rest going to come later. So that's where he's going. Skip down and read verse 5. Go ahead.
And in mercy shall the throne be established, and he shall sit upon it in truth, and in the tabernacle of David, judging and seeking judgment and hasting righteousness.
And he's going to establish the throne in mercy, sisters and brothers. Because when you come in there, he's going to tell you, this is what I want you to do. And this is where it's going to be. Mm-hmm. So he went to the wilderness because that's where we're going to be. That's where he's going to set up his throne to teach for 3.5 years. Remember, Jesus was supposed to teach for 7 years, sisters and brothers. But he only taught the first half of a week. Now when he come back, he's going to finish that in the wilderness before he take us in the land. Just like he had Israel in the land for 40 years, Jesus ain't going to take but 3.5 to take care of it this time. And that's where you are going. You're going to be processed through the wilderness. Going back to the motherland is a pipe dream. In fact, if you go, it's going to turn into a nightmare when the Lord comes. Let's go into Matthew, the 24th chapter. Because one of the greatest secrets on the planet, Israel goes nowhere until the Lord comes. That's all over the book. But don't nobody read the book. Everybody go to church to have a good time. No, we had a good time. Before my head got too soft, I have to used to have a good time sitting on one of them bars, drinking some Jack Daniels, and listen to some good blues. You understand? That's what I call a good time. I go to church to learn how to get salvation. Yes, sir. That's why you here. You ain't got no other reason for being here. You're not here to socialize. You're not here to be a part of a club. You're not here to judge nobody or to be judged. You are here for one reason and one reason alone. That is to learn how to get salvation, how to save yourself. Because your salvation is in your hand. More people realize that, everything will go a lot smoother. Won't be no bad mouthing, because bad mouthing bring wrath upon the one that had a bad mouth. Matthew 24, because the Lord, before Israel come, the Lord is going to come. 24 and verse 27. 24 and verse 27. Read it.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even into the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Now he got to let you know that, because you're going to have the abomination of desolation sitting in the holy place. And everybody going to say, well, Christ is back. He is in Jerusalem in the temple. Jesus said, Just like you see the lightning come from heaven, shine forth to the east, that's where you're going to see me coming from heaven. I will not sneak up on this world.
Right.
I'm going to announce my coming. I'm going to have 7 trumpets tell you when I'm coming.
Yes, sir.
And I will not get there until the great tribulation is over with. Skip down to verse 29 and go ahead.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened.
Go ahead.
And the moon shall not give her light. And the stars shall fall from heaven.
Go ahead.
And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
Now look, sisters and brothers, this is before the Lord comes. Ain't going to be no big secret. Go ahead and read.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Look, sisters and brothers. The people saying that when you say the Lord's going to rapture the church off before the great tribulation. But you read the book, you ain't going nowhere until he come, right? So if you're going to rapture you off and you're going to meet him, that still don't take place until after the tribulation of those days. So what you going to do until he come in the tribulation? You going to hide? You going to run? Or you going to receive a mark in your forehead and in your right hand and live in peace until he come and bring some grief on you? What you going to do? Right. Even when you read this. Next time somebody tell you, well, see, the church is going, Lord going to rapture the church off. You ask him, and he going, when he come, yeah, then you go read this to him. Immediately after the tribulation of those days.
Yes, sir.
Not before. Go ahead and read.
And he shall send his angel with the great sound of a trumpet.
And when he come, he going to send his angel with the great sound of a trumpet. Go ahead and read.
And they shall gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
And they're going to gather together his elect from the 4 winds. Who is the elect? Israel.
Yes, sir.
And if anybody that's not Israelite, they join on to it, then they become a part of the elect.
Yes, sir.
From one end of the heaven, that's from one end of the earth to the other, sister and brother. That's after he comes. Not a day before. And then when he starts to gather you, he's going to deal with you. He's going to bring you to the wilderness. But he said he's going to send his angel with that great trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. Let's go into Isaiah 27 chapter. Isaiah chapter 27. Because the Lord done laid this thing out, sisters and brothers. And I love it. Like a lot of people say, well, you know, Buie teach the same thing all the time. I say, I sure do. I teach the Bible all the time.
That's right.
And if you pay some attention, you're going to learn something. Well, we want to do something new. Like what? If you're going to do it before Genesis or after Revelation. Because you've been taught from Genesis to Revelation. Where else do you want to go? I just marvel at that. The Lord said, when he comes, then he's going to send his angel with a great trumpet, and he's going to gather his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of the earth to the other. That's the heaven he's talking about, because earth is heaven also. The first heaven. Think about it. The Lord live in the 3rd heaven.
Yes, sir.
Stars and the moon is in the 2nd heaven.
Yep.
But we on the 1st heaven. So why would you want to live the 2nd or the 3rd when you can live on the 1st? I don't think that was no accident. You understand what I'm saying? The Lord could have made the count any way he wanted. Right. He elected to make this the 1st heaven. You're already here. Do what it takes to stay here. Isaiah 27 and verse 12. 27 and 12. Okay, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall beat off from the channel of the river into the stream of Egypt. And ye shall be gathered one by one, O ye children of Israel.
I mean, he ain't leaving you nowhere. Go ahead and read.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the great trumpet shall be blown, and they shall come which were ready to perish in the land of Assyria, and the outcasts in the land of Egypt, and shall worship the Lord and the holy mountain at Jerusalem.
Not only in Assyria and Egypt, but everywhere. But he named the 2 great captivities, Assyria and Egypt. Egypt had as our first captive, and Assyria was the one that took the 9 tribes off. They are still lost.
Yeah, they are.
But we starting to find out who they are. And he's going to bring them back. And they are not the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans and the American Indians. That's why I look at people when they got this group out here, got all these people a part of Israel. When the Lord made it simple in the 28th chapter of Deuteronomy, the things that's going to happen to you being sold and brought in by ship, he said it's going to be a sign and a wonder. What's a sign?
Identify, point out.
I walk up to a guy that's a Puerto Rican or a Mexican, say, was you brought here as a slave? No, I wasn't brought here as no slave. Well, you ain't Israel. American Indian, was you brought here? No, I wasn't. Well, you ain't Israel. All you got to do is see who the slave was. And you just put your hand on Israel. That is elementary.
Right.
How you going to got some foolish brothers running around there talking that other stuff? Crazy sisters and brothers. I marvel at the ignorance of this people. So when the Lord going to bring you back, they tell me going back to the, some of them don't even think about going to the land. You know that? Well, you see, we going to build us a kingdom right here. How in the blank? You're going to build your kingdom within a kingdom. Even Lord had to bring us from among Israel to make a kingdom, didn't he? You ain't going to build no nation within a nation. What you think a serving nation going to do? So now, you ain't going to stay here. And you ain't going to take it directly to the land. Because most Israel is too dirty. So he's going to do you just like it did in the days of old. Let's go into Ezekiel, the 20th chapter, and look at it. Ezekiel chapter 20. I'm not lying, sisters and brothers. Sometimes it really takes some restraint to keep from saying what I want to say about this brother. I mean, really. Ezekiel 20. Let's start reading at verse 32. Because Israel loved to serve other gods. Look what the Lord said to you. Verse 32. Okay, go ahead.
And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all. That ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone.
He said, look here, I'm going to tell you that you got in your mind to serve this pagan, that ain't going to happen. Because we love other people, God. Yeah, we love them. And we don't care if it don't make sense. I didn't know that Enoch ruled all the men on the earth. Enoch ruled the whole earth. I didn't know that. I had to go to the book of Joshua to find that out. I didn't know that Enoch rode a big white stallion to heaven. I had to go to Joshua to find that out. The book of Joshua. I said, I'm going to buy this book and I'm going to read it all. And I got to about 3-4 pages. There was so much garbage I had to quit to keep them throwing up on the floor. We love foolishness. So the Lord said, this is the kind of stuff that come in your mind, I'm not going to allow to happen. Look what he said I'm going to do to you. Go ahead and read.
As I live, said the Lord God.
And he do. Go ahead.
Surely with the mighty hand and with the stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you.
In other words, I'm going to whoop your head until it rope like okra. I'm going to rule over you. Go ahead and read.
And I will bring you out from the people. And will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered.
Go ahead.
With the mighty hand and with the stretched out arm and with fury poured out.
So wherever you are, I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to whoop them and they're going to bring it to you. Bring me to you. And if you act crazy, I'm going to whoop you. They're going to bring you to me just like I whooped Egypt.
Right.
And they open the door and let you come too. I'm the same God. Go ahead and read.
And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people. And there will I plead with you face to face.
He said, I'm going to bring you to the wilderness of the people, the same wilderness that your forefathers come, and I'm going to do like I did with them. I'm going to plead with you face to face. Jesus will be here on the earth in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read.
Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, So will I plead with you, said the Lord God.
Now let me show you some of this. Put your marker here, sisters and brothers. Let's go. He said, face to face, just like I did with your father. Let's go into Exodus, the 33rd chapter. Exodus chapter 33. Exodus chapter 33. See, the Lord letting you know what I'm going to do to you. I've done it before. And you better find out what happened to them that didn't want to do it like that so it won't happen to you. I kill in the beginning, I can kill in the end. Exodus 33. Now this, sisters and brothers, when the Lord had sent Israel into the land of Canaan to spy it out. Then the spies went over there, and they saw them giants, the son of Anak. That's why people always talk about, well, you see they had giants in the days of Adam and them, in the days of, because the sons of God laid with the daughters of men, and they come up with giants. Well, then, where did Goliath come from? Where did the Anakims come from? The sons of Enoch. They was all gracious giants. You got some over there now. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
But he said, look, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to do you face to face. But when they went over and spied out the land, sisters and brothers, they saw them giants. They come back talking evil against the land. You can't do that. But the Lord said, I done gave it to you. Yep. We're going to 33 and 1. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, depart and go up hence, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, into the land which I sware unto Abraham, and to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, unto thy seed will I give it. And I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanite, the Amorite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite.
He said, I want you to go on in there, man, and you take them people in the land I gave to their fathers. That I promised them when I come out of Egypt. And I'm going to send an angel before you to drive them out. Why is that? Go ahead and read.
Into a land flowing with milk and honey. For I will not go up in the midst of thee. For thou art stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way.
He said, but I ain't going to go among you. Because I can't take no more, y'all. I'm standing in the middle of you. I'm going to rise up one day and kill every one of you. So I'm going to get out from among you. I'm going to let the angel be among you.
Right.
He ain't going to do nothing to you unless I tell you, but I will kill every one of you. So what did Moses do? Go ahead and read.
You want me to skip down?
No, keep reading. Go ahead.
And when the people heard these evil tidings, they mourned, and no man did put on him his ornament.
Oh, we always mourn when we're in trouble. Now skip down to verse 7 and go ahead.
And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, afar off from the camp.
Go ahead.
And called it the tabernacle of the congregation.
So when the Lord said, I ain't going to be among you, Moses pitched the tabernacle of the congregation way off from the camp. Because he knew that God meant what he said. He had to talk about it killing Israel about 3-4 times. So he pitched it way off from the camp. Go ahead and read.
And it came to pass that everyone which sought the Lord went out into the tabernacle of the congregation, which was without the camp.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass when Moses went out into the tabernacle that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door and looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle, and the Lord talked with Moses.
Now look, remember, the Lord was in the clouds in the daytime, in the fire at night. So now when Moses went into the tabernacle, the Lord with his vehicle, the cloud, came on down. And he went in there too. And he spoke to Moses. Go ahead and read.
And all the people saw the cloudy pillar stand at the tabernacle door. And all the people rose up and worshiped, every man in his tent door. And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face.
He spake to Moses what?
Face to face.
How could he do that if he was in heaven? He wasn't in heaven. He was on earth. He spoke to Moses face to face. Go ahead and read.
As a man speaking unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp. But his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle.
See, the Lord was already preparing Joshua. But he spoke to Moses face to face. Because Moses was the one that he sent to speak to the people. So when he come back, he said he's going to plead with us face to face, didn't he? Yep. Now let's go back to Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. Keep your marker there, because we're going to flip in and out here. Because I want to show you what's going to happen tomorrow happened yesterday. Ezekiel 20, and we're going to read one verse, verse 37. Ezekiel 20 and verse 37. 20 and 37. Okay, read it.
And I will cause you to pass under the rod.
I'm going to cause you to pass under the rod. I'm going to whoop your head. Go ahead and read.
And I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
And I'm going to bring you into the bond of the covenant. Now keep your marker there. And let's see, did he do anything different with Israel when he brought them out of Egypt? Let's go into Exodus, the 24th chapter. But keep your marker here. Exodus chapter 24. We're going to see if anything new is going to happen up on the earth. Exodus 24, we're going to start at verse 3. Exodus 24, and we're going to start reading at verse 3. 24 and 3. Okay, read it.
And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord.
So the Lord, when he went up and he got his instructions from the Lord, when he talked to him face to face, then he come back and told the people all the words of the Lord. Go ahead and read.
And all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord have said will we do.
So when he told them, he said, all of the Lord, the word, everything that the Lord said we will do. Go ahead and read.
And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord.
Then he wrote them down. Go ahead and read.
And rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill.
Go ahead.
And 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord.
See, these wasn't sin offering here. These were sacrifices, burnt offering, peace offering to the Lord. And what did he do? Go ahead and read.
And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar.
Go ahead.
And he took the book of the covenant.
And he took the book of the covenant, which he had wrote all that the Lord said. And what did he do with it? Go ahead.
And read it in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord have said will we do.
They said it again. Go ahead.
And be obedient.
All that the Lord said we will do and be obedient. Then what did Moses do? Go ahead and read.
And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people. And said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words.
Ain't that something? He took the blood and he sprinkled on the people. So look, this is the covenant that the Lord have made with you concerning all these words.
Yes, sir.
So a covenant bounds you. You know, when you sign a contract for a car, house, that bounds you. So when he got them in the wilderness, he brought them into the bond of the covenant. That's what he's going to do when he takes us back the next time. Ain't no difference, sisters and brothers. Because the blood already been sprinkled when Jesus died on the cross. But this is a blood covenant. Now let's go back to Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. Back to Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. And we're going to read one more verse, verse 38. Ezekiel 20 and verse 38. See, because when he bring these Israelites that don't like to be baptized, they're going to get baptized in the wilderness. That's what puts you under the bond of the covenant. If you refuse to get baptized, I ain't going with this, I ain't going to deal with JC, then look for this. Verse 38, read it.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
And I'm going to purge out from among you the rebels.
And them that transgress against me.
And them that transgress against me, go ahead.
And I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn. And they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
He said, I'm going to deliver you from whatever country you find yourself living in. And I'm going to bring you in and bring you under the bond of the covenant. If you refuse to come under the bond of the covenant, then I am going to kill you. That's what purge means. This is going to be a horrible thing. The Lord going to deliver you. You all rejoicing on his way to the Holy Land. Everybody clapping. And you're going to get out there, and who you going to go ball eyeball with? JC. And he's going to remind you, what did you call me? He did in the old days. Let's look at this purging. Let's go into Numbers, the 14th chapter. Numbers, the 14th chapter. Because, sisters and brothers, it's going to be some rough stuff. See, because the people that go in the wilderness before the Great Tribulation, most of them, if not all, would probably be in the first resurrection. But the rest of them, they got to go there and they got to go eyeball to eyeball with the Lord. And he's going to bring you into the bond of covenant. Because if you refuse to come in, then he's going to purge you. And we're going to find out how the Lord purged people. Numbers 14, and let's start at verse 2. Now you just have two more places after this. Numbers 14 and verse 2. Okay, read it.
And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
That's because these guys brought back that bad report. You understand? They murmured against Moses and against Aaron because they said there's giants in the land over there. Go ahead and read.
And the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt? Or would God we had died in this wilderness?
Ain't that so? Oh, we wish you had died in Egypt. We wish you had died in the wilderness. Well, God said, I'll let you die since you want to die so bad. But go ahead and read.
And wherefore have the Lord brought us into this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt?
Ain't that something? The spies went into the land of Canaan, saw a few giants over there. They come back and said, we can't whoop these people. But the Lord done destroyed the whole nation for them.
Right.
Now they're going to say, well, look, now the Lord done brought us out here. So our children, our wives, are going to fall by the sword. Then they really got brazen. Go ahead and read.
And they said one to another, let us make a captain.
Let us make a captain.
And let us return into Egypt.
Forget Moses. We're going to make us a captain. And they're going to turn to Egypt and they're going to return to Egypt. Then the Lord weighed in. Because Moses them fell on their face because Moses and Aaron knew what was about to come down. Then the Lord waved in. Skip down to verse 11. You can read all this on your own. Verse 11, and go ahead.
And the Lord said to Moses, how long will this people provoke me?
How long will these people provoke me? Go ahead.
How long will it be ere they believe me?
How long will it take before they believe me? Go ahead and read.
For all the sign which I have showed among them.
Look what they say I've done. Go ahead. I've signed all kind of signs among these people. So I'm going to do something to them. Go ahead and read.
I will smite them with the pestilence.
And
disinherit them. And will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they.
Ain't that something? I'm going to smite them with the present. With the present, I'm going to disinherit these people. And Moses, I'm going to make you greater than they ever would be. Go ahead and read.
And Moses said unto the Lord, then the Egyptians shall hear. For thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them.
Ain't that something? Look here, Lord, now. So the Egyptians going to hear what you did to these people. You know, you brought them up in all your might. You done destroyed Egypt. You done split a sea. But let's read a little bit of this. This is too good to skip. Go ahead and read.
And they would tell it to the inhabitants of this land.
And they're going to talk to the Canaanites. Go ahead and read.
For they have heard that thou, Lord, art among this people. That thou, Lord, art seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them.
And they're going to tell them to the Canaanites, look, we saw the Lord among these people. We saw his cloud in the daytime. We saw his fire at night. And and then you're going to kill them? Go ahead and read.
And that thou goest before them by day time in a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire by night.
Go ahead.
Now thou shalt kill all this people.
Now if thou shalt kill all this people.
As one man.
As one man, because that's what he was going to do.
Yeah, he was.
Go ahead and read.
And the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, because the Lord was not able to bring this people into the land which he swore to them, therefore he hath slain them in the wilderness.
He said, now look here, Lord. This Moses is talking, ain't it?
Yeah,
that Moses got a lot of nerve, boy. He said, now if you're going to kill all these people, you know what the nation going to say? Them people was too much for you to handle.
Right.
You couldn't even take them to the land. Right. So in order to save face, you just kill them all in the wilderness. And this Moses is going to keep on reading, because this Moses did some big-time pleading for Israel. He said some things that I wouldn't have did. Y'all probably would have been dead. Go ahead and read.
And now I beseech thee, let the power of my Lord be great according as thou hast spoken, saying, the Lord is long-suffering.
He going to hit him with his own words.
Yeah.
But that Moses got some nerve, ain't it? You're going to throw the Lord's words back in his face.
Right.
You say you're long-suffering. Go ahead and read.
And of great mercy.
And of great mercy.
Forgiving iniquity and transgression. And by no means clearing the guilty. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children into the third and fourth generation.
He said, now these are your words. I'm quoting to you. Go ahead and read.
Pardon, I beseech thee.
So he said, now I'm begging you to pardon these people. You the one say you great mercy. You long-suffering. He said, now, will you pardon these people?
Right.
Well, that Moses boy, he put his life on his line.
He did.
Pardon, I beseech thee. Go ahead.
The iniquity of this people according to the greatness of thy mercy.
According to that great mercy you talked about. Go ahead and read.
And as thou hast forgiven this people from... Wait, let me go back.
Take it easy. Get out of the lesson and read.
Yeah, I said it right.
Started back at 19 at the top and come down.
Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people according to the greatness of thy mercy. And as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt even unto now.
He said, just like all them other time you had to forgive them. And then what did the Lord say? Go ahead and read.
And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to thy word.
I pardoned according to thy word. Brother told me the other day when I told him about the fringes, you understand? I said, the Lord said he's going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. He's going to put his laws in your mind. Brother going to tell me, oh, you mean God changed his mind? I say, he's God. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Right.
Who's going to question it?
Right.
Did he change here? Because he's going to kill every one of them like one man. Boy, that's something. He's going to kill a whole nation like one man. But then he killed the whole world like one man, didn't he? Drowned them all. Yeah. Go ahead and read.
But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times.
And have tempted me now these 10 times. Go ahead and read.
And have not hearkened to my voice. Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers. Neither shall any of them that provoke me see it.
He said, ain't none of them going to do it. I mean, not even one. Except for 2 people. Go ahead.
But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and have followed me fully, him will I bring into the land whereunto he went, and his seed shall possess it. Now the Amalekites...
Now let's skip down to verse 29. Verse 29, and go ahead.
Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness.
He said, ain't nobody going but Caleb, and later on he's going to tell you Joshua. He said, so your carcasses are going to fall in this wilderness. Go ahead.
And all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me.
He said, I'm going to kill every one of you. From 20 years and older. I'm talking about when they come out of Egypt, who was 20 years was before the 40 years started. From that age on, when they came out of Egypt, I'm going to kill every one of you. Every one. That lets you know when you're 20 years old, that's when the Lord holds you responsible.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read.
Doubtless, ye shall not come into the land.
Go ahead.
Concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein. Say Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun.
Say Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. Go ahead.
But your little ones, which he said should be a prey, then will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised.
Now them little ones you talking about that's going to get killed, I'm going to bring them into the land that you despise. How did they despise it? Because they rebel against God. Go ahead and read.
But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in the wilderness.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years and bear your whoredoms until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness.
He said, I'm going to kill every one of you. I'm God. I live forever. I can walk you around for 40 years. It ain't nothing but a yarn to me.
Right.
And I'm going to kill every one of you. Every one. And he got so upset at these people, he swore something to us. Let's go into Hebrews, the 3rd chapter. Hebrews, the 3rd chapter. Yeah, people tell me, I'll be glad, brothers, you're here when the Lord comes. If you ain't right, you don't want him to come. So just like the Lord has shown you what happened to Israel in the old, he had Paul warn you in the new. Don't be like them people.
No.
Don't be like them. When the Lord talks to you, you better listen. Hebrews 3, and we're going to start at verse 7. Hebrews, the 3rd chapter, and we're going to start at verse 7. When he said, wherefore the Holy Ghost said, that means wherefore the Word said, the Holy Word of God. Go ahead, sisters and brothers. Ain't no smoke talking to Paul. Go ahead and read.
Wherefore, as the Holy Ghost saith, today if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart.
I said the same thing. Today if you hear his voice, don't harden your heart. And don't hear it up like a lettuce. Go ahead.
As in the provocation, in the day of temptation in the wilderness.
Just like they was when they tempted me in the wilderness 10 times. Go ahead and read.
When your fathers tempted me, proved me, saw my works 40 years.
Go ahead.
Wherefore I was grieved with that generation and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways.
Go ahead.
So I swear in my wrath, they should not enter into my rest.
So they missed out on 2 things, sisters and brothers. They missed out on going to the land, and his rest is when he ruled his earth. In other words, they ain't going to even be in the first resurrection.
Nope.
I mean, he was mad at them. You ain't going to enter my rest? Neither in the first resurrection. The only ones out of that whole ordeal that I know for sure is going to make it, Joshua, Caleb, and Moses. I don't know about Aaron or Miriam. I don't know.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
He said, go ahead and read.
12. Take heed, brethren, lest there be any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living God.
So he warned us, take heed, lest you have an evil heart in departing from the living God. Because he is the living God. Skip down to verse 17. Verse 17 and read it.
But with whom was he grieved 40 years?
So who was it that he was grieved with for 40 years? Go ahead and read.
Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness?
Now, was it not, who was he grieved? With them that sinned against him. Their carcasses fell in the wilderness. So what did the Lord say when he's going to purge you? That means he's going to kill you. And you will not get in the land. Just like Israel didn't get in the land. When he come back and start to gather Israel, we will not get into the land. If you refuse to come into the bond of the covenant, then you're going to get purged. Now let's go to the last place. Let's go into Jeremiah, the 31st chapter. Jeremiah chapter 31. Because sister and brother, the Lord is dead serious about this thing. He ain't fooling around. Good is coming. Just make sure you're in the position to take advantage of good when it get here.
Right, brother.
You can do this thing right. It ain't taking long. You know, you look around. Look how quick you getting old. It ain't but a minute. That's why I know the Lord going to be coming soon, because I'm getting old quick, and I want to be here. Jeremiah 31 and verse 1. Jeremiah the 31st chapter and verse 1. This is the last place. Jeremiah 31 and verse 1. Okay, go ahead.
At the same time, said the Lord, will I be the God of all the families of Israel.
I mean, he's going to put them all together. See, they split after the death of Solomon. Solomon, David, and Saul are the only 3 men that ruled over the whole nation. After Solomon's death, he split the nation. But at this time, he's going to be Lord over all the families of Israel. Go ahead.
And they shall be my people. Thus said the Lord, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness. Even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest.
So those of us that survive this thing, we're going to find grace in the wilderness, sisters and brothers. That's when he's going to give us what we got coming. If we come into the bond of the covenant, we're going to get our inheritance. Those that are still flesh and blood, I intend to be God at that time. I'm going to try to make this first resurrection. But in case you don't make it, you will find grace in the wilderness. He's going to give you what you got coming in the wilderness. I mean, everybody's coming back, sisters and brothers. Everybody. Old, young, crippled, blind, whatever. You're coming back. Skip down to verse 8. Verse 8, and go ahead.
Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coast of the earth. And with them the blind and the lame.
Go ahead.
The woman with child and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping and with supplications. Will I lead them? I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in the straight way, wherein they should not stumble. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn.
We still his children, sisters and brothers. Go ahead and read.
Hear the word of the Lord, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him.
Go ahead.
And keep him as a shepherd doeth his flock.
He says, so this is a message to the whole world. The whole world. He that scattered Israel is the one that's going to gather Israel. Jesus is going to gather us. That means Jesus scattered us. So Jesus is still the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. Thank you for your time. So I say, sisters and brothers, watch for the temple to go up in Jerusalem, and watch from Papa to leave Rome and move in it, and then start watching the airlines and looking at the newspaper and the news, because the Lord going to have transportation to you, for you to get out of here. Now we'll have the announcements.